Okay, attribute is to add an attribute. What is the JavaScript function? Add attribute. Set attribute. Set attribute. Okay, class this. Okay, cool. I'm going to add an attribute called style. Error element is this, and I will take that element first. On that element, I'm going to set the attribute. On that element, I'm going to set the text. Right. Submit. Now we are getting in the red color. Okay. So if it is same, right, we should now that I have added this. So if it is same thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset it. If it is valid, I'm going to reset. So there won't be anything here. It's an empty text. And style, and the value is empty. Cool. So first let me try invalid. So invalid. Now I'm going to enter. Right, they are both going to be valid. Right, it is trying to submit. Yeah, but let's come back here. So here we'll also check the other values are also present. Okay, this is the password validation, and then we are submitting. Okay, cool. If okay, so before post, slash employee slash register. This is my thing. Okay. I still have to validate the couple of things, which are the name and email. The name and email. Name. Email, and here name, email. Okay, if name not equal to empty, equal to empty, or is like this when it comes to JavaScript. Email equals to empty, then I'm going to use the same for error form. Okay, right. So let me reload this. Right. So this will not match, obviously. So password's not matching. So this it will try to submit, right? But yeah, so method is not allowed. We'll get to that. And I have not provided my email, but I have provided. So this will basically say, oh my God, I did try to submit. Why? Here. I did not return. I don't want to proceed further. So I want to return from here only. I don't want to proceed further. Okay, let me go back. Right. Let me reload properly. Second. And right, I try to submit. Is not defined HTML on click button. Why? I think there is certain mistake, which is try to submit first. Mandatory data is not provided. So here I'm going to provide my email ID. Then I try to submit. Then it says password doesn't match. Okay, let me try matching the password. Then I try to submit. Then can submit the data. Okay, now it is very simple. Now what we have done is just a JavaScript function, and then we have done this to validate certain passwords and send it to the backend to create data, Now let me go back to the app. Well, our employee registration is working well. Now I'm going to create another route, app.route employee slash, or else we'll use the same function, right? Registration methods is equal to, it is going to support two methods, get as well as post. Okay, if request dot method equals to get, let this function be called. Okay, else, right, we'll use this. Okay, request dot form. What do I want? I want a name. Name is equal to this email password. Done. Three things, three fields that we have collected. Okay, so after collecting, what is that we want to do? After collecting, what is that we want to do?
Connect to DB, sir.
We want to connect to the DB and save this data to the DB. But before that, what is that I have to do? I have to create a basically convert this text password to in a hash format, text password to hash format. So in order to do that, which is the library that we want to use?
Bcrypt, sir.
Right? Import. Looks like I did not install bcrypt here. Install decrypt, right? Let me just save it to the requirements thing. Right, import bcrypt, done. Okay, the first thing is let us try to convert. So before that, I want a constant salt that will be used. Right, I'm going to create one more uh, variable. I'm just going to call salt is equal to, I'm going to give some random values, okay? So I just want this to be constant irrespective of where this is going to be, right? So that way it can generate the same. You can also generate a password with the same salt. I can also generate so that the validation becomes easy, right? So this looks good. Now let us go and try to create the first password hash. Create the password hash. It's equal to decrypt hash password. So it is going to take two passwords, right? The password that was provided. So basically this should be converted to UTF-8 format. And I have to provide the salt, right? This will basically hash. So what is the salt thing that I named? Bcrypt salt. And done. Hash is equal to, I'm going to, since I have to store it in the DB, I want it to convert to the, again, UTF, decode it back to the UTF-8. So dot decode it to 8. So this is what I have. Now I'm going to go and proceed further with creation of the data. So since this is the user data that I'm going to create, so where am I managing all my user model? So it is here, right? So here itself, I'm going to write def register employee, and I'm going to give all the required fields: name, email, and password. Now, same thing, similarly, what we have to do is so get the connection, right? Get the connection object the same way that we did, right? So, and I am going to use a query. Let me write the query, right? So in the etil queries.py, I'm going to write my query. So insert employee is equal to insert into employee, insert into employee, where name, email, and what is the DB schema value for password here? It is just the password. Okay, right. Happened, so not this, right? So I here. No, it's not here. Was I in the user model? Yes. Password. Right, I'm going to pass import this query here, insert employee, and insert employee, and I'm going to pass name, email, password. I hope I have given in the query also same order: name, email, password, employee, and values is equal to percentage s comma percentage s comma percentage s. So three values will come there, right? Okay, and done. So we are good. Let me go back to the user model. Right, insert employee, and this is the data. right? Con dot commit, right? And cursor dot close and con dot close. So even here we are not closing it. So let us go ahead and close here as well. And once it is closed, you can always use the result set object, right? Okay, this is what is used to. Now this is also get user data. Okay, so it is also, this is get, but this is set, so there is nothing to return here. Okay, so let us use this to register the employee from the user models. Okay, let me go back to the app.py. So here, simple. What is the thing that we have to do here? Right, so user model dot, what is the function? Register employee. Yeah. Register employee, and we are going to pass name, email, and password hash. Right? So we don't know what will happen here when connecting to the DB. It might throw an error or it might have certain problems. So hence I'm going to put this into the try except block. Except I'm going to handle the exception as e, right? Print exception handled, right? And whatever is the exception message is going to be here e, right? Handled in post block. That way, anybody looks at this message, they know where the problem is. They know where the problem is. Once that is done, from here, let us, if it is successful, right, and we will log in, and from here, we can redirect it back to slash employee slash register page. Okay, are we clear with this? So let me just go back. I think looks like I have my DB, sorry, our server down. Yeah, we did stop it, right? To install bcrypt. So let us install it again. Let us start it again. Okay, so let me restart. Done. Name, email, password. Okay, let me try to submit. Okay, strings must be encoded before hashing. We did encode, right? In the password. Did we encode? Yes. Why is this? Okay, okay. I think the salt is not encoded. Let me encode the salt. Where is the salt? Here. Let me try to resubmit this. Okay, invalid salt. That is fine because the salt should be how many characters? I am going to remove this parentheses. Let me try. I think that should be fine. Password's not matching. Why? Okay, it is saying invalid salt. I think what is wrong with the salt? Okay, so let me rewrite. I can use some special characters, that is fine. is invalid salt. So that is because bcrypt expects so let me do one thing. Let me just copy what bcrypt gives. For example, let me stop the server. One moment. Let me go to Python console. So this is generating a certain salt. Let me use the same thing. Happened here. So instead of that, let me use it this way. Right, so this is my salt and I'm going to exit out of it and start my server. Let me go back to the browser and say to submit this again. Okay, seems like this time it got submitted without any errors. Where is our PG? PG admin, let me see if I can start. If not PG also, you can also try PowerShell with run as administrator. Okay, PSQL works here, right? Yeah, PSQL hyphen U Postgres hyphen D. Error connection, so it says, let me just I think we did create a server, right? The other day, library management, and did we create all the required tables? And let us see in the employee table if we have the employee record. So query tool, select star from employee. Okay, so there is nothing. Then what happened? Let us try to understand 302. From there again it redirected. So but again, see, if you see here, what did we miss? What did we miss? Tell me. What did we miss? Exception in employee registration post block module. User model has no attribute register employee. It doesn't have a register employee. Let us see. What is the function name? It is register employee only, right? User model. So I have my own user model. Right. So what else is the problem? I have written my class method, and this was a class method, so I'm good with this thing. Get user by ID, get this thing. So all of those are working. Get user data, register employee. I have this function, right? Why is it say doesn't have? Okay. Let me quickly check from the Python console. From user model import. Okay. right? So it has a DB connection. These four parameters get, so these are the imports, right? And then it's a class method. Why these functions are not being captured? So I don't want this here. So I'm going to say this as a static method, but seems to have problem importing this. Why I'm just checking. Somehow it is not giving those functions. Why? Register employee. So model does have the register employee, but somewhere why does it say so? Why does it say so? User model has the thing. Mhm. Why? If I maybe one moment, I will just do. I'll try to figure out. This would still be the same thing. Okay, okay, okay. Shit, my bad. So what is the import here? The class name is user model, right? And what is the file name is also user model.py, and the class name is also user model. My import itself is wrong. I am, oh my God. How did I miss this? Dot user model, import user model. This is the right way. I'm like wondering what is wrong. Okay, cool. This is the model that I'm using here. And if I want anything else, um, I think I am good, or am I using things from here? No, I think I'm good here. Okay, so now let us go back to the browser. But did I start my app? Let us start the app again. Okay, let us reload. Let us fill the data. I'm going to click submit. Right, now it seems like it has created, it did not throw any error, but again, let us validate if we had any three. Okay, exception handled in employee registration post log. User model register employee take three parameters, but four were given. So it says three parameter, but it says four were given. Okay, so register employee, we have given three, but it does complain that four are given. So All right, so I said class method, right? Static method. Static method. So let me reload this and refill the data. Submit. Okay, no worries. Let us check. Okay, this was the okay. Now library management does not exist, or 5432, the server is not running. So basically connect to server at localhost is not running. So Postgres server seems to be down, but here I am able to access. And what is the server value? PostgreSQL 15. What is my connection? Check the properties. What is my connection that I have? Localhost 5432. Postgres is the user. And that's it, right? So it seems like it is available. Hmm. Hmm. Postgres. Okay, so I think I did a certain mistake. Where is my user model DB? Library management Aruba 123 localhost. Let me retest if that is working. So now it is there. If I use localhost, does it still have a problem? It should be same. No, it does work. That's Q -D. Okay, so I'm able to connect. So which means so this should be able to connect to. So let me just quickly check from the Python console itself if I'm able to establish the connection. Import connection. DB connection dot get one. Yeah, so field filtered like one does not exist. Is there a mistake in the DB name? What is our DB name? Is correct, right? Anyways, let me just take this. From here, I'm able to connect. I'm just going to take the same thing here. I'm going to just say exit Python. Action dot. Okay, now I'm getting connection. So it looks like there was some spelling mistake. It was not able to connect. Okay, let's go back and exit. Let me run the application again. So looks like we are good. let's go back to our refresh. Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3. Done. Submit. I hope there are no errors. Yeah, so this time we did not see any errors. So let us just validate from here. Select star from employee. Okay, so we got our record here, right? Shrikant
Yes,
and
sir.
this email and this password, right? Now let's go back and try to create one other employee. Maybe this time. Right, and then submit again. Right, let me go back and run the query. We got the second record also.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is something which we had done already, but now we are doing it in a proper way. Now we are doing it in a proper way. Why? What do I mean by proper way? Right, I have my own user model which deals with the user specific queries, creation, get, and all of that. Right, and I have my CSS still we do not use the static and the templates, so which separately handles the template and the this thing. For ITIL, I have for a DB related thing, I have a db.py, and for queries, I have a queries.py. Right, using these only we are able to get the things done. And in the app, you have very specific code with respect to the application. Right, so just check get, but here register employee went to the user model class, and from there we executed it. Any doubts here?
Okay, sir. No, sir.
Right, it is a with this, these are something that we have been doing from last 1 week, and now we are doing it in a proper manner, and that is the reason, like, it might seem new, but it is just the folders, that separate folders, organizing modular, keep the code in a modular fashion, so each everything goes in their respective files. Okay, now that's it. I am going to stop.